What's up, everyone? Today I'm answering another one of your questions that came in the comments section, this time from Chatterley? I don't know how to say it. Anyways, it asks for recording drums at home, which was better, the 18i20 or the Focusrite 18i8. I answered that specifically in the reply. However, I'm going to take this opportunity to address the bigger question, which is what is the best interface for recording drums at home? Right, so let's go ahead and get straight into it. So we need to answer a few questions because there are so many interfaces out there. Okay, first, what's our budget? Oh, the 18i8, 18i20 is like 600 bucks, right? So let's say that's our max. Okay, what's the second thing we need to answer? Well, how many mics or channels do we want? So you can record a drum kit with one mic, right? It's gonna have a definite feel to it, a vibe, but you can do it. And real quick, let's just go ahead and get this out of the way, guys. Equipment should never limit you, right? If you are an artist or an engineer, that will be the most important skill that you can have is your songwriting or your mixing. Don't ever use equipment as an excuse to not record or not mix or not get those ideas out there. I mean, people are doing things nowadays with just a couple $100 that our predecessors couldn't imagine, 30 years ago with thousands of dollars. Okay, so it doesn't matter what you have, get your stuff recorded, get it mixed, get it out there, develop your skills first, worry about equipment later. Okay, so now with that disclaimer out of the way, yeah, like I said, you can use one mic, you could use the 3-mic technique made famous by John Bonham. And I learned about it in college and then immediately forgot it because I never use it. I think it was like one overhead and then there was like one over the shoulder and then there was one off to the side. I don't remember. Again, I'm gonna assume you're gonna do the more modern close mic on all your drums technique. In that case, if I'm in a studio, I'm using like 16 to 24 channels. And if you wanna see a tutorial on exactly how I mic drums, I will link that here and in the description. I highly recommend you check that out. But if you're, again, on a budget, $600, you're not gonna get that. So let's just say you have 8 channels, right? We really want a minimum of 8 channels. Okay, what else do we need? Well, how many preamps do you need? Okay, so in the question, he asked specifically about the 18i8 or the 18i20. Now the 18i8 has 8 inputs, it has 8 channels. However, it only has 4 preamps. So if you have 8 mics that you wanna record, you have to have 8 preamps. So really the question is, what do you already have? Do you already have outboard pre's? If you have like a rack mount 4-channel preamp, then you can just run that into that 18i8, use the 4 onboard preamps, the 4 outboard preamps, there you go. Now you got 8 preamps. However, again, for the purpose of this video, I'm gonna assume we're starting with nothing, starting from scratch, getting something brand new. All right, so 600 bucks, we want 8 channels with built-in preamps, okay? So that narrows it down quite a bit. I'm actually gonna go to my computer to sweetwater.com, who is not sponsoring this video, by the way. And we're just gonna narrow the field down by those parameters and we're gonna see what's available. Let's go through them one at a time from cheapest to most expensive. Let's go. All right, so we've got Sweetwater pulled up. We're looking up USB interfaces, in stock and pre-order, sure, all the brands, sure. Yeah, let's do 600 here as the max. One key number of preamps. We want exactly 8 preamps. Okay, so that basically narrows us down to 6 interfaces. There's a couple Presonus on here, but I'm just counting them as essentially one interface. So let's start with the cheapest, that is the Behringer Uphoria. Ooh, how provocative of a name. It is $190. It has 8 preamps built in there. Now I did say that technology has gotten better, right? So you probably would be able to do really good things with any of these interfaces. However, Behringer, they've made some really good stuff. They've completely changed the live sound landscape with the X32, releasing a digital mixer of that quality at such a low price. has seriously changed the live sound game. So, you know, good on them. I have a C100 cable tester by Behringer. I've had it for like 20 years. It keeps on going. So I am not knocking Behringer at all. Some of the stuff they make is good. Everything I've ever had from them when it comes to recording, though, has not been good. So it's noisy, which is what you really don't want when you're recording, and it breaks quickly. So my recommendation, just stay away from Behringer for recording equipment altogether. Okay, up next we got the TASCAM US 16x8. Now I used to be in television, and we actually used quite a bit of TASCAM stuff, and this is $360 approximately. And yeah, we used to use a lot of TASCAM, and it just works. It doesn't have a lot of bells and whistles, but you plug it in and it does what you want it to do, and then, you know, you turn it off when you're done. That's about it. So I would definitely go with the TASCAM over the Behringer. Like I said, it's not going to have a ton of features on it, but it's solid. It's not going to sweeten your sound at all with the preamps. They don't do a lot to the sound, but hey, maybe that's what you want. All right. Up next, we got the Presonus Studio 18x24 USB-C. Let's check it out. Now we're getting up to the next kind of level in price. You're at $450 here. And this may be kind of a controversial take. I know a lot of people use Presonus. And I just did a review of the Presonus Monitor Station V2. You check that out right here. And it was actually pretty competent. I was surprised at how well it did. But before that, all of my experience with Presonus has been negative. I really didn't like their consoles. The Presonus interfaces that I've used have always had connectivity issues. I don't like the sound of their preamps. So I know a lot of people use them, a lot of people like them. I really don't like them. So I would go with the TASCAM over the Presonus, honestly, which again, might be slightly controversial, but that's my take on the Presonus interfaces. Okay, there's another Presonus here, same thing on that. And then you have the MOTU 8Pre 16x12. Yeah, that's an interface, all right. I literally know nothing about MOTU. I've not heard anything about it. I don't know anyone that uses it. I mean, Mark of the Unicorn, that's kind of a cool name. You can have a little unicorn interface. I don't know. If you have any experience with it, let me know in the comments below. Other than that, I have absolutely nothing to say about it, good or bad. Okay, the Audient Evo 16. Let's check that one out. Getting up to the top of that budget now, $580. Okay, so my experience with Audient has always been good. Right now I have their Nero monitor controller, and it just feels really good. It sounds really good. Super happy with it. I'll be doing a full review of that later on. But Audient's build quality has always been really good. I like the sound of the preamps. And everybody that I know that has used them has a lot of good things to say about them. So this would definitely be a contender for top recommendation here. And there's a couple features that are present in the Audient Evo 6 and also in the 3rd generation Focusrite 18i20 that definitely make them leaders. So they both have an auto gain function, which is super convenient if you're a drummer, right? Because you know, it's hard to like hit one drum and then look at your meters and turn your preamp up or down. But with the auto gain function, you can literally turn that on all 8 channels, then just go and jam on your drums for a while, and the interface will automatically set your levels on your preamps. Like I said, for a drummer, it's super convenient. Also, the two interfaces, the Evo 16 and the Focusrite 18i20, they both have ADAT optical inputs. So at the point where you want to expand from 8 channels to 16 channels, you can do that by getting a second device, just an 8-channel preamp with an ADAT output, and then you can plug that into your interface, and now you have 16 channels that you're recording with at the same time, so you can kind of step up your drum recording game later down the line if you want to with these interfaces. All right, let's go ahead and go last but not least. We got the Focusrite Scarlett 18i20 3rd generation, and that is at the tippity top of our budget, $599.99. So 600 bucks over that, definitely, with taxes and everything. So yeah, this also has the features I was just talking about. I have a full review of the 18i20. I recommend you go check that out. Basically, it's a really good interface. I had it for years. I was able to make some really good music with it. And the 3rd generation just steps up the quality even more. Now, I do have also a review on the 2i2, I think, of the 3rd gen. And some of the new features aren't really game changers for me, but for people just getting into recording at home, it may be something that you want. So the Focusrite preamps aren't my favorite. They're just really transparent. They don't really do much to the sound, which again, may be what you want or need. So not knocking them there, but it's just not my favorite. So yeah, basically, I would recommend either the Evo 16 or the Focusrite 18i20 if you're going to drop the money for it. And really, even then, the Evo 16 is 20 bucks cheaper and has all the same features of the 18i20, and I like the way it sounds better than the Focusrite. So if I had to narrow it down to one interface for recording drums at home, it would be the Audient Evo 16 USB interface. So if you have a different take, if you disagree with me, if you think I'm dumb, whatever, just leave me a comment down below and let me know your thoughts. If you have a question, leave that down there as well. Maybe I'll get back to you with a video. So thanks for watching this long. I'll see you next time.